Ferrari and team boss Frederic Vasseur are making headlines, but not for the reasons they would have wished. Insiders have reported to top media outlets that Ferrari has approached none other than Red Bull's long-serving chief, Christian Horner, in times of internal discontent. But what is really happening within Maranello? Why would Ferrari contemplate such a dramatic move? And what does this reveal about the internal issues at Ferrari and Red Bull? Over the last few weeks, Ferrari has been at a crossroads. Despite a Monaco podium and flashes of brilliance, Ferrari is not happy. Behind-the-scenes rumors indicate Ferrari trying to poach Christian Horner from Red Bull. This isn't the first time this has occurred. Ferrari attempted to recruit him before, but that failed. So why now? There is increasing discontent with Frederic Vasseur's leadership. There were high hopes when he was appointed as team principal. Many felt that he was a big improvement over Mattia Binotto. But almost 2 seasons on, Ferrari is yet to fight for the championship, and that is unacceptable for a team of its standing. According to Germany's Bild newspaper, Ferrari's recent contact with Horner wasn't just casual interest. It was a serious, strategic move, perhaps one that signals their intent to shake up the team before the new regulations hit in 2026. The prospect of Christian Horner taking the reins at Ferrari is intriguing. He's been with Red Bull since its formation and has driven the team to incredible success. However, Red Bull hasn't been exactly sailing smoothly in recent times. There has been internal strife, particularly about Horner, that has shaken the team. The investigation initiated earlier in 2024 cast a dark shadow, though publicly they had expressed stability. There's also tension between Horner and the camp of Max Verstappen, particularly with individuals such as Helmut Marko and Jos Verstappen questioning Horner's stewardship. Adrian Newey and Jonathan Wheatley are some of the high-profile names who have already committed to exiting or pursuing other options, and this gives rise to severe questions about Red Bull's future strategy. In Horner's view, Ferrari need a proven winner. Red Bull's internal politics notwithstanding, his CV speaks for itself. Ferrari desire results. They have had enough of excuses. With new technical regulations on the horizon, they require someone who can construct the team into a title contending force. But there's more to this than just leadership. Ferrari's issues run deep. Lewis Hamilton's arrival was supposed to herald a new era. Yet so far, communication between him and race engineer Riccardo Adami has been shaky at best. It's been clear from radio messages that Hamilton isn't comfortable with the feedback loop, and Vasseur seems hesitant to make bold internal changes. Meanwhile, in the garage, engineers are working to turn driver input into positive performance improvements. That failure of communication between the drivers and the development team is one of the red flags that stands out the most. It all reads like a picture of a team that needs to transform. But as Ferrari gazes outward, Red Bull's own internal situation is also beginning to fray. Horner is becoming more and more isolated. Verstappen's on-track dominance hasn't been sufficient to muffle backstage tensions. When a team starts favoring one camp over another, fissures begin to appear. And at Red Bull, they're beginning to. Ferrari is aware of this. And that's why they're making their play now. There's the wider cultural divide between the two teams too. Ferrari, as a brand, has an enormous heritage. There's pressure all the time. Failure is not an option. At Red Bull, the culture has always been more relaxed, but it has also been built around Horner's leadership. If Horner were to jump to Ferrari, it would not simply be a matter of color. It would be a change of mentality, of philosophy, of expectations. He has alluded in previous interviews to the fact that all great motorsport figures ultimately look for a new challenge. Perhaps, just perhaps, this is his. Nothing has been officially stated yet. But rest assured, this discussion isn't fading away. Not if Ferrari keeps faltering. Let's discuss performance. Charles Leclerc took a solid second at the Monaco Grand Prix, with Hamilton coming home in P5. Despite that set of points, however, Ferrari trails Red Bull and McLaren in the Constructors' Championship. Leclerc and Hamilton enter Barcelona sitting 5th and 6th in the driver standings, a good long way from where they were predicted. Going into the season, Ferrari was touted to be in serious contention for the title, if not with the Hamilton-Leclerc pairing alone, which has been touted as being among the best combinations on the grid. But things haven't turned out so rosy. When the team gets beaten by both Mercedes drivers and regularly lags behind Verstappen, alarm bells ring. Leclerc himself has been open about the team's weakness, particularly in slow-speed corners. "By far our biggest weakness is the slow-speed corners," he replied after Monaco. "That is why I came to Monaco very pessimistic, believing even a top 10 finish would be an achievement." That gloom could soon give way to hopeful optimism. The Spanish Grand Prix in Barcelona in a few weeks' time brings new technical regulations aimed at limiting front-wing flexing. Until now, teams had been permitted up to 15 millimeters of movement. That's now reduced to 10. Ferrari should stand to gain a lot from this rule adjustment. Unlike Mercedes and McLaren, who were experimenting with extreme flexi-wing concepts, Ferrari was more conservative. That might now work in their favor, and even Mercedes boss Toto Wolff admitted that Ferrari might be the team to beat after this. Wolff said, "I believe Ferrari was likely the most conservative on flexi wings. What it's going to do on the pecking order is something we need to look at." For Ferrari, this may be season-turning. Frederic Vasseur himself has acknowledged that the team has been developing their Barcelona upgrades for months. Rather than unveil the big package in Imola as anticipated, Ferrari chose to implement incremental changes, holding out for the change in regulation to gain maximum effect. Vasseur elaborated, "Barcelona is on everyone's calendar in the paddock. At least for us, we have been working on it for ages. This could be a game changer." He's not mistaken. If the new rule changes provide Ferrari with the performance advantage they require, it might give Vasseur some breathing space. If not, the demands for change will only intensify, and those talks with Horner might be restarted again. Let's not forget that 2026 is a watershed year. It is the beginning of a new rule era for Formula One. If Ferrari are truly intent on reversing their fortunes, they must sort themselves out before then. If Vasseur cannot produce results by the end of 2025, there are plenty who feel the team will not think twice about replacing him, and Horner is still at the top of their wish list. So what does this all amount to? Ferrari are gearing up for a no-compromise future. They're not content anymore with being best of the rest. They want to win. And if that's at the cost of poaching one of the most successful team bosses in the history of modern F1, then so be it. The Barcelona Grand Prix will be a critical moment, not just for Ferrari's championship hopes, but also for Vasseur's future. If the new upgrades fall short, don't be surprised if more major changes follow. So what do you make of it? Should Ferrari swap Frederic Vasseur for Christian Horner? Would Horner leave Red Bull at this stage in his career anyway? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more in-depth analysis of the world of Formula One. Click the video on your screen now for our latest breakdown.